Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Thanks for joining me here on the Whimsy Stamps channel. I have a very fun project to share with you today, and there it is. It is another tag made with the mini slim tag die set, but I also am using this new to me stamp set called Yeti for Christmas. So if you'll recall, last week we had the video design team had a hop called Creatively Tagged, where we featured this die set, and it has been one of my favorites ever since it came out. Like, I like tags and I use this a lot. So I wasn't ready to put it away yet. So here we have another tag coming at you. So this one obviously is 2 layers. The top layer that I'm going to put the Yeti on, I just do some very simple ink blending and I stamp him out, or them, because there's a Yeti and 3 gnomes, and I color them up and then I fussy cut them out. But I really want to tell you my process for making that background print with the bubble wrap print. So I recently had a gel plate play day, and I will try to remember to link to that. I'll also try to remember to link to the Whimsy Stamps hop video. I'm trying to write things down as I talk. I apologize. So, on the day that I had my gel plate play day, I was using the large bubble wrap a lot to make prints on my gel plate, and the bubble wrap was covered with paint, and I didn't want to waste it, but I didn't want to put it back on the gel plate. So what I did, because acrylic paint is water-based, so I sprayed it with some water. It wasn't fully dry yet, so it was able to kind of reactivate or reconstitute. I don't know the right word, but it became super wet again, and I laid it down on my cardstock, and I just pressed like we would with a large background stamp or something of that nature. And I just pressed it, and then I lifted it, I sprayed it again, and I set it on the second half of the paper, and I did that on about 4 sheets of paper. So I have a lot of bubble wrap prints, and I think it's beautiful. I love a circle. I don't know what it is about a circle that I love, but it just is fun. And I love that these are kind of mottled. Some of them have a little bit of pink. Some of them have a little green and purple. You can even see some reds in some of them. But they are very defined. The edges are very defined. And I just think it's a great print. So just thought it would be the perfect one for a Yeti, because Yetis, I guess we see them as yellow, blue and white. So that's the story behind that. So I might, over on my channel, I've been doing some videos on how I use my gel plate prints, and so this might be a video in the making. So I will link to my channel as well, and that way you can kind of touch base over there, and if there's anything that you want to see, well, feel free to watch it. So back to this particular project. So we have the bubble wrap tag layer, the large one. Then we have the smaller tag layer that was just die cut in white cardstock, and you saw that I used a distress oxide ink to just do some very, very simple blending, just to kind of have a background for my little guys. And then I wanted a little bit more, so I took the new, I think it's just called Snowflake. Oh, it's snowing. That's what it's called. The 6x9 stencil from Whimsy that's brand new that I used to make the dots on the blue tag. That's called It's Snowing. I almost wish I would have used the snowflakes instead of the dots, because the dots just look like dots when they're in color. The idea is to have them be white so that they look like snow. But anyway, it is what it is. I feel like I always have one issue or one something that I would go back and change if I were to redo it. So that's my one on this one. But I don't hate it. I like it. I still think it looks good. And now you see that I'm showing all of my coloring for this particular image, and I think it's absolutely adorable. I'm using very soft tones, not even a lot of blending, just kind of 1, maybe 2 colors. Yeah, now the Yeti obviously is getting more attention than the gnomes, and I'm giving him lots of shadows, like where his arms are and under his beard, so it just looks like his head is sticking out a little bit further than the rest of his body, and so I really like that effect. And to get that, you just put a little bit darker. Well, it's white. He's white, so I'm not putting color all over him. I'm really only putting it on the edges and then dragging it out with the blender pen, or a lighter kind of blue-gray. So these are my Arteza Everblend Ultras. Now the Ultras have a brush tip. The regular one, the white one, does not have a brush tip. It's very much a hard bullet nib. And they color just fine. They just don't have that brush nib. So yeah, it has a different overall effect. But I love the way the shadowing really is prominent on the Yeti. You can see how even his eyes or his face, it's like he's in a mask, and that feels like it's kind of sunken in because just of the shadow work. So I guess I'm learning something. I always say I'm not a colorist, and then I get fussed at by those who know me that tell me I need to stop saying that. But again, I'm very much a work in progress, and I will own that 100%. And I own when something comes out well and when something doesn't come out quite so well. But there's the overall image, all colored up, ready to go. Now I'm fussy cutting. If there are dies for this set, I'm not aware of it, and I don't have them, but I don't mind. I love the dies that I have, don't get me wrong, and I use them frequently. But I do not mind fussy cutting. There's something kind of semi-therapeutic about it for me. So something to keep in mind when you're fussy cutting, though, is that you're moving your image much more than you move your scissors. That's not to say you don't ever move your scissors, but you move your image more. So there you can see the Yeti is going to go on that blue tag, and you can see that I just colored some cardstock so I could cut out the whole reinforcers. And these reinforcers, to me, yes, they're reinforcers, of course, so they give a little bit of added stability there at the hole, but they just add another element, another detail, another pop of color, another place for your eye to land as it goes across the overall project. So before I put my image down, I decided I better go ahead and stamp my sentiment. It says, "Are you Yeti for Christmas?" And I'm glad that I used my Misty because it needed, it needed to be double stamped. And I know if I had used an acrylic block and done some free range stamping, that I would definitely have double stamped that and it would have been a mess. So this is pretty much my project, guys. I have a very long piece of baker's twine, as you can see, because I'm not sure what kind of package it's going to go on. Maybe it needs to go all the way around something. Maybe it doesn't, but we'll see. And in the end, if I need to trim it down, I will trim it down. But this is my tag, and I think it's absolutely adorable. So you can see that the coloring really was the part that took the longest time. But there it is. You can see where I kind of overlapped some of the dots when I did that simple stenciling on the background. But again, I'm not mad about it. I think it's cute. It adds to the character. It adds to the overall picture. And I am in love with the bubble wrap print. So y'all tell me, do you make tags? And what do you do with them? Like, do you put them on packages? Do you add them to, like, maybe little gift bags? Do you use them as cards if it's a big enough die? What do you do with them? Do you use them maybe as ornaments, or do you make a craft book out of them, like an art book? Let me know, like an art journal, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, friends, I will have everything listed and linked downstairs, but of course, we would love for you to leave a comment down there. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'd love to see you over on the Whimsy Stamps Facebook page, Instagram, Pinterest, all those places, guys. And I can't thank you enough for spending some time with me this morning. And until next time, this has been Nancy, the Handy Scandy for Whimsy Stamps. Mwah! And I'm out.